So, if Q3 earnings really taught us anything, it seems like the market's finally taken off the rose-colored glasses.
Oh, absolutely. It feels like we've gone straight from, AI worship to some pretty cold, hard AI accounting.
Right. A real reckoning. And it looks like there are, well, two big fronts to watch here.
Exactly. We're seeing pressure on, first, the corporate ledger. Is this AI stuff actually a profit center, or is it turning into, well, just a massive cost black hole?
Okay, that's one. And the second,
And second, there's the consumer front. All this talk about the AI PC. Is it going to be the next big thing we all need this Christmas, or is it just the next 3D TV, a flop?
okay, let's tackle that corporate ledger first, because, the clearest profit signal still seems to be Microsoft, right? Azure saw, what, 33% growth?
That's right, 33%. But the really telling detail came from their CFO, Amy Hood. She explicitly said they're capacity constrained.
Capacity constrained, meaning they actually could have made more money if they just had the hardware. Precisely. It confirms there's real, production-level demand out there, especially for the Azure OpenAI services. Demand is literally outstripping the physical supply of hardware.
Which, okay, is a bottleneck for Microsoft, but sounds like a massive win for
NVIDIA.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're the ones selling the shovels in this gold rush.
Yeah.
Analysts are talking about NVIDIA's Q3 data center revenue potentially hitting, get this, $47.5 billion.
Wow, just data center.
Just data center. It pretty much confirms they're the main ones, maybe the only ones, really making bank on building out all this infrastructure right now.
But is that sustainable for NVIDIA? I mean, if Microsoft is constrained, aren't they just going to pour even more money into their own custom chips eventually?
Good point. That's the long game.
Yeah.
But right now, everyone else seems to be paying this huge AI tax just to stay relevant.
You mean the CapEx spending?
Exactly. Look at the guidance for 2025. It's staggering.
Yeah.
Google's planning to spend somewhere between 91 and $93 billion.
93 billion.
And Amazon. They're guiding towards $125 billion. And they expect that number to actually increase again in 2026.
That's not innovation money, is it? That sounds like just keeping the lights on.
It really does feel more like a utility bill at this point.
Yeah.
And, that costs black hole. It bleeds right over into the software as a service world.
Right, like that weird Palantir situation. Huge revenue growth, 63%, but the stock actually dropped after hours.
Yeah, the Palantir paradox.
Yeah.
It shows that the hype premium, that sort of AI magic dust, it's gone. Customers aren't willing to pay extra just because something has AI slapped on it.
So SaaS companies are struggling to actually charge more for these new features.
They really are. It's tough to show a clear ARPU increase, average revenue per user. So you see companies like Salesforce kind of shifting the conversation, talking about vague productivity improvements instead of hard dollars, because customers aren't biting on the add-on fees.
Except for Adobe, maybe? They seem to buck the trend.
Adobe's the interesting exception, yeah. They baked Firefly, their AI image stuff, directly into the main Pro subscription. Creative saw the value immediately. It wasn't an add-on. It was an upgrade to the core tool.
Made it essential, not optional. Okay, so that's the corporate side. Messy, expensive, apart from maybe Microsoft and definitely NVIDIA. What about the consumer side, the AI PC? Is that going to pay off?
Well, the hardware is definitely ready. We're just weeks from Black Friday, and you've got Intel's Lunar Lake chips, Qualcomm's Snapdragon X Elite, both hitting those high TOPS numbers for the NPU, the neural processing unit.
And they supposedly have much better battery life, too, which is always a plus.
True. Better battery life is a tangible benefit, but the sources we looked at were pretty blunt about the core problem.
Yeah.
There's just no killer app.
No reason for the average person to actually buy one.
Pretty much. The only specific example anyone could point to was super niche. It was an Adobe Premiere Pro feature, an NPU-accelerated audio tagger thing.
Okay. Useful for video editors, maybe, but not exactly going to drive mass market sales.
Not at all. So the verdict for this Christmas, it looks like the AI PC is basically this year's 3D TV. It's a feature on the box, but nobody's buying the TV because it's 3D.
So sales will just be about the discounts, people looking for the usual holiday deals.
Yeah, the data suggests consumers are going to be hunting for those 23% to 28% discounts on electronics, like always. The AI part won't be the main driver.
Okay, and just quickly, there's one more cost factor lurking, right? The regulatory side.
Right, the compliance tax, as some are calling it. You've got the FTC and the DOJ actively looking into partnerships, like Microsoft and OpenAI, and also NVIDIA's market dominance. That means more legal costs.
And Congress isn't doing anything unified, so states are stepping in.
Exactly. Because federal action is stalled, you're getting this patchwork of 50 different state AI laws popping up. sometimes conflicting.
Which just adds another mandatory cost for companies with zero return on investment.
Yep, another permanent fixture on the cost black hole side of the AI ledger.
So wrapping this up, it's a really split picture. You've got proven demand, like bursting at the seams for Azure and fueling NVIDIA, but everywhere else, it's astronomical spending, kind of disappointing monetization, and now rising compliance costs.
It really is. And maybe here's a final thought for you. The whole industry seems to be betting that the software will catch up by 2026, that the killer apps will arrive and turn this AI PT 3D TV into the next smartphone.
That's a big bet.
It is. But what does it really mean for innovation down the road when the cost just to play the game, the CapEx plus this new compliance tax, gets so incredibly high that maybe only the biggest players, the equipment makers, can actually afford the ante?